so often, the Sports Hangover touches on mature topics. Discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar. That is Jeremy Garrison. And you know what's happening right now, Jeremy? The Oscars just happened recently.
Well, not right now, but
recently.
Yeah.
They're on everybody's mind. And you know what the biggest thing on everybody's mind is? Was the retweeted photo. I thought it was a great photo.
Over 2 million retweets. Ellen broke the internet. Ellen's getting a lot of bad raps about this Oscar hosting gig.
She was a little lax. She was a little like, hey, man, here, give me some money, Weinstein, and throw it in here. And she was laid back. Did you happen to retweet the photo?
I did not. I did not clutter my timeline with that photo. No, it was often enough. I think it was a good idea. I mean, the thing that stood out to me is how good they all looked in that photo. And it was definitely a selfie on the fly. And like Brad Pitt just looks like a movie star in
Kevin
it.
Spacey's face is the best in the middle.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, they just all look so good. I guess that's why they're movie stars and we're podcast hosts.
That's
right?
true. But we look pretty good too. I thought I really liked it. Any big upsets you thought? I thought it was weird that Gravity won everything.
I don't need all the even though I'm in the business, I don't need the editing and the sound and all the audio. Too many awards there in the middle, and then to save all the other ones. It's late on the East Coast, Mike. All the awards were after 11:30.
I know, midnight. You guys, it ended at midnight. I didn't understand why they don't, because they have like that pre-Oscar thing where they hand out all those other awards. Why don't they just hand out? Why don't they condense it down to an hour and just give us the best thing?
I mean, maybe 2 hours, right?
I mean, they could have done without some of those montages.
It's true. Highest rated Oscars in 10 years. Highest rated entertainment show since the Friends finale. There's a fun fact for you.
Jeremy,
how about that?
That's big.
So what'd you think of Matthew McConaughey winning Best Actor?
I thought
Let's start there.
This is the year of Matthew McConaughey, right? I mean, he's in the best TV show right now, True Detective. Dallas Buyers.
People rave about it. I haven't seen True Detective.
You're missing out, Jeremy. It is a good show. True Detective is awesome. Dallas Buyers Club was a great movie. I thought it.
You watched it?
Better. It was definitely better than Gravity. And 12 Years a Slave was a tough movie to watch.
Didn't see that either. Didn't see Dallas Buyers Club. I was voting for Wolf of Wall Street to win Movie of the Year. I knew it probably wouldn't. It's just really well done. It was too long, I'll give you that. American Hustle did not have the plot to keep me interested. The actors were all really good, though. And Gravity was a visual. I thought it should have won for Best Director and should not have won for Best Picture.
I mean, the reason why some of these get nominated are because of the stars who are in it. So it's like, oh, these people have won before, been nominated before. Let's just put them in this group, and we know what the real movie is going to win.
True.
I mean, 12 Years a Slave or Dallas. I mean, Her was also a really good movie, which I thought could have won.
I still haven't seen Her. I really want to see
I don't know.
that.
The Dropbox we share, it's in there.
It wasn't in there. It wasn't in there. I do want to say, don't feel bad for Sandra Bullock. I heard she made $70 million on Gravity.
Insane.
Isn't that crazy?
Is that more than the movie made?
Movie? No, the movie made hundreds of millions, but I've never heard of someone making $70 million on one single movie for like 3 months, 4 months of shooting. It's
Talking
crazy.
about making money, Jeremy. Jimmy Graham has just been franchise tagged. You like that, right? Jimmy Graham.
But
as a tight end. Only getting, what is he getting? I think he's getting $7 million right now, and he could potentially be getting $12 million or something.
So just real quick, if you're unfamiliar with the terms of the franchise tag, once you get franchise, it's a 1-year contract. Your team can lock you up. They can do it 2 times, I believe, in the course of your career, and you're paid the average of the top 5 at your position. Correct. So he's being paid the average of the top 5 tight ends, but when you think about it, Jimmy Graham is the undisputed number 1 tight end in football, especially with Gronkowski suffering injury after injury. It's not fair for Jimmy Graham. However, it's 1 year. He's still making $7 million, like you said. Nothing wrong with $7 million for a year. He can test the market after this year. He's a tight end. He's listed as a tight end. He is a tight end.
I'm gonna give you some facts here that prove he might be a wide receiver. Number 1 receiver on the team right now, Marcus Colston, 943 yards last season, 5 touchdowns. Okay. Jimmy Graham, 1,215 yards, 16 touchdowns. Now, if you just looked at the numbers, who would you say the number 1 receiver is?
I would say it's Jimmy Graham, but he doesn't play receiver. He plays tight end.
Well, I'll do you one even better here. Marcus Colston, $40 million contract, $19 million guaranteed. Jimmy Graham, $7 million franchise tag.
Well, the whole reason he's being franchised is he can't agree to a long-term contract with the Saints. I would like to know what the Saints are offering him long term? Are they offering him number one tight end money? And he's looking for number one wide receiver money. He's not Calvin Johnson, Mike.
But he might as well be. He's the same. He's huge. He's a big target out there. He could go to any other team, and I'm sure he could get that money.
I disagree. I just don't think he should be. He plays tight end. He's being franchised. It's something the NFL teams are allowed to do when you can't lock someone up long term.
I don't like it. You're not happy with it. I think he should be a wide receiver. I think
I don't like guys making $7 million a year bitching about how much money they make.
Because Jeremy taxes. He doesn't get all $7 million. If he got $12 million,
I don't get all $30,000. But all right,
I know that, but I'm just
taxes apply to everybody.
I know, but this guy, he's getting. Listen, everybody's getting paid. Marcus Colston, who is not an elite receiver, is getting paid $40 million. Jimmy Graham is not getting paid that, and he needs his money.
It's easy to look at the other guy and say, what does he make? I deserve to make more. Look at yourself, though. Look what you do.
So that if I was him, I'd leave and go try to find the money. Go to the Browns.
You would hold out.
I would leave. I would be like, I'm gone. I'm the number one. I'm the number one tight end, maybe the top 5 receiver in the league. I would be out of there.
He's on the same page as you. He is not reporting to off-season activities. He is not reporting to training camp, and we'll see what happens.
Good for you, Jimmy Graham.
Not good for the Saints. Maybe they should just trade him. Can they trade him on a franchise tag?
I think. Why not?
If you're going to lose him to free agency, why not trade him?
Get out of there, Jimmy.
Another thing, I tweeted at TSH Podcast, I tweeted this. Any team can sign Jimmy Graham to a long-term contract if they give the Saints 2 first-round picks. Would you do that if you're the Seahawks, if you're the Packers? Would you do that?
It depends on what – I mean, he wants money, so it's got to be a team that –
got to pay him and give up 2
It's got to be a team that needs him. And the first-round pick, they're only guaranteed a certain amount of money for a certain amount of years. So I don't know if it's only worth it if you desperately need that position filled. And I don't know.
The Seahawks don't desperately need it. They won a Super Bowl without him. The Packers, I did read, are interested in Jimmy Graham and the 2 first-rounders. We'll see if anything comes of that.
I like that.
Also happening now.
Me,
I need to get on a soapbox a little bit here. Not that I've ever done that before. Richie Incognito is now in treatment. He's in a treatment center for.
Did you see that?
He bashed Dennis Ferrari.
Oh no, I didn't see that. I saw the interview last week where he was like, he came out of his house all sweaty. He's like, I gotta go back and play video games.
Yeah, he went off the deep end and he went in. He checked into a mental facility. Because he, of all the stress that this is putting on the whole situation, Jonathan Martin. Meanwhile, Jonathan Martin is meeting teams and is wanting to get back in the NFL. And this is what I had to tell you, Mike. Happening right now, I believe Jonathan Martin should be blackballed by the NFL. Should never be allowed to play in the league. I think Richie Incognito deserves to be in the league, should be on a team. Hopefully the Dolphins, probably not.
But
it should be Incognito on a team in the NFL. Martin should never be allowed to play again. Go away, please.
But Jeremy, right now it looks like Incognito is a little. He's fallen off the deep end, and
you would fall off the deep end if the whole world came after you for saying the N-word.
I know, Jeremy, but listen, I'm not as famous as him. I don't make as much money as him. He should know better, and now he's fallen off. And usually when people fall.
He should know better. This was something he did in confidence via text message with his buddy, someone he thought was his buddy.
Well, it was a little bit more.
Like I say filthy things to you via text. If you shared them with the world, I would be out of the job.
It's like what we share in that Dropbox folder.
Yeah.
No, but
Where are the films?
it's not good for him to do what he's doing because he's falling off. And he's not going to get back on. It's because there's so many young guys that want his position. Why take a risk with somebody that just doesn't? Like, why? Unless you really need him and you can get him for cheap, then yeah, take him. But
you're talking about Incognito.
Yeah, but there's cheap enough guys out there, rookies, undrafted free agents, who just want to play his position. Take him.
Yeah, but they're not as good. Incognito was a Pro Bowl guard. You don't want either one of them. So you don't want Martin.
I don't want anybody in the league. I don't want anybody.
You want,
if you're
want the Dolphins thrown out of the league too for the whole situation?
It might be good for the league.
I just hope Pouncey stays on the Dolphins. He's their criminal center, but he's really good, so I hope he sticks around.
What else you got for me?
Let's play a little game of this or that.
I like it. Let's see.
Let's play. Mike, we're going to stick with the NFL theme right now. You could call this a happening now. Peyton Manning has been cleared by the Denver Broncos to play in 2014. He had his medical exam with the team. They cleared him. He's good to go for next year. My this or that for you. Who do you take in fantasy football 2014? Who do you take first? Peyton Manning or Tom Brady?
I mean, if the numbers hold true to what they were, you take Peyton Manning. Tom Brady.
Well, this is 14. We're moving ahead.
I know,
a year.
but it doesn't. To me, it's like Tom Brady was not productive at the first half of the season, and whoever had him probably didn't make the playoffs with him. So I would say I would stick with Peyton Manning, and yeah, he's probably a risk to get injured this year, or maybe mentally he's obviously not going to take you that far if he's going to go in the playoffs. But I'd go Peyton Manning number one.
A lot has to happen in the offseason, of course, and free agency is about to get started here at the Sports Hangover. We're going to be
Can I reverse the question to you? Who would you take overall number one in the fantasy draft now that running backs are just kind of like...
Can't even answer my own this or that first.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead.
All right. First, I would like to say I'm going to take Tom Brady because Eric Decker is going to be a free agent. He's going to go to the New England Patriots. Leave Peyton, join the Patriots if you see what I did there. Because just like Welker went, and now Decker's going to go. So I'm going to Brady. Number one overall fantasy. Not Ray Rice. That's
fantasy
for sure.
Football draft. Are you going to take a running back? Are you going to take a wide receiver? Are you going to take a quarterback?
I would take a running back if everyone was available.
Auction draft. Everybody's available.
I mean, I don't even. Is it Jamal Charles? Is he going one?
Yeah.
Who's got? I guess Jamal Charles. Yeah. And that. I mean, we're right there with McCoy.
Yeah.
McCoy or Charles. I'll go Charles.
I like that. All right.
He flourished in the Andy Reid office. You wanna go?
Oh, I would probably do the same. McCoy and him, and then maybe. I guess there's really no receiver that I would take in the first five. But I would probably take Peyton. If I was the third pick, I'd take Peyton Manning.
Oh, I hope we're in a situation
I would
where
take
we do
him.
that. That's too early for a quarterback. There's a lot of good quarterbacks out
Jeremy,
there.
you know there's a spot open in our league.
I'm waiting to see some data on that. My second this or that, we're moving along. LeBron James dropped 61 points.
That's a lot of points.
In one single game earlier this week,
Yes.
Mike. This or that, who will finish with a better career? It's always a fun question. LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
I mean, Jeremy, it's a different time. You can't. I think right now LeBron James can play longer than Michael Jordan played at a higher level of competition. Michael Jordan, it was a different time. NBA maybe wasn't as big as it is now. The reach isn't as big. I mean, Michael Jordan is a global brand and face and shoes, but LeBron James is making a shitload of money. And I think in the end, LeBron James will be a bigger name in basketball.
Wow. You know, it's funny, but I agree with you. And it's pretty crazy to say that we agree on something and that LeBron's going to be better than Michael Jordan. Most people don't think that, but he's still young. He's not even 30 yet, even though his hairline is past 30.
Kind of like you, right?
He's not past. Let's move on from that. I just think LeBron he's doing great things. The Heat are in position to win another championship this year. They could have more than the Bulls, everyone. Don't forget, Michael Jordan left to play baseball in the middle of his career. I don't see LeBron going to do that. My last this or that, you see him behind me, Jimmy Fallon right now,
NBC
Mike.
programming never stops in your house.
Love NBC. Jimmy Fallon is killing it on the Tonight Show, in my humble opinion. I know you're a Jimmy Kimmel fan. Battle of the Jimmys here. Fallon or Kimmel? Has Fallon won you over?
Fallon has not won me over. Fallon is a very gimmicky guy. And Jimmy Kimmel, he's funny. He does funny bits. Did you see after the Oscars show? Or was it too late for you on the East Coast?
I did. I watched it on Monday afternoon. Not on Sunday night, but yes, I did watch it. It was funny. Yeah. All the YouTube videos were funny. Jimmy Kimmel himself isn't funny, though. If you think about everything he did in that show, he wasn't the one being funny.
But it's his funny humor. He's a very witty guy, comes up with good skits, good ideas. Jimmy Fallon's more like, look at me, I'm a one-man circus. This is what I can do.
But I just love how talented Jimmy Fallon is. To me, he's so much more talented than Kimmel. He does everything. He did Classroom Instruments last night.
I know.
He did History of Rap with Timberlake.
Can I tell you this? He did
different charades. Different talents. They do lip sync
Different
battles.
talents, Jeremy. He's more of a circus. Jimmy Kimmel is a writer. He gets in there, writes good products, comes out with good stuff. Jimmy Fallon's like, oh, I'll do this musical bit, I'll do this musical thing, and then that's it. They're different.
So we disagree.
Yes.
Now, our buddy Tony, who also used to be on Team Kimmel, has switched over to Team Fallon, so I was hoping you would jump over.
I'm not jumping over.
A few more of these episodes.
I'm staying LA-based.
See you on the Peacock, baby.
All right, let's play a little. No, we're not going to play. We're going to get into the sexy, slutty, skinky
Time to dig up the dirtiest stories around the sport.
Now, this is like...
Take a deep breath.
This is big. This was, like you said, Jeremy, before the show. This is very slutty to the NFL. The NFL is considering moving the PATs, the point after the touchdown, back to the 25-yard line, which would then make it a 42-yard field goal. How do you feel about that, sir?
Well, the whole thing is Roger Goodell wants every play to be exciting and contested, and right now extra points are just not contested. What happens if a team wants to go for 2? Do you know? Do they need to go for it from the 25?
That I do not know, Jeremy.
Do they just line up and go for 2 from
Basically,
the
they want to get it back to where – all right, teams right now cover 99.6% of all PATs. That was last year. A 42-yard field goal makes it somewhere in between 80 and 90% of the time. And they haven't seen that since the 1940s when they were playing football. So they want to bring it back a little. So it's like, well, this is a 90% chance is a pretty much guarantee, but there'll be a lot more flukes. I mean, sometimes people just miss the ball. If it's raining, it just kicks, real harsh.
Yeah, 42-yard field goal is easy to miss. I get what Goodell's doing here. There's no reason to kick an extra point. It's just might as well just a touchdown should cost 7 points because it happens all the time. And then you should be able to go for 2. What if we came up with some system where you go for 2 from the 2-yard line, and you go from 3 from the 15-yard line, you go from 4 from the 25?
I think what they're trying to do is just I don't like your idea. They're trying to make it so it's easier to. It's not a big rule change. It's not like, oh, all of a sudden you're gonna have 5 options to score different types of points. We're gonna move you back to the 25-yard line, and if you can score, good for you. And I don't know if that means the 2-point conversion is also there, but if it is, then it's not worth going for at all. So,
but how about this? If I'm a team and you can go for it for 2 from the 2-yard line or kick it from the 25, I'm going to go for it from the 2 more often because the extra point isn't guaranteed.
Then that will make it even more exciting. I might actually pay attention to after they score a touchdown because then.
What about?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, finish.
Well, then I said, this would be good for fantasy too, because then you get that extra point.
Yeah. What if I just feel like why don't we just get rid of the extra point, have everyone go for 1 extra point, and make it a real offensive play?
Because then what do kickers do?
They kick field goals.
I know, but
kick
you're
off.
just phasing them out. If we.
Do you have a problem with phasing kickers out? Is that a big deal?
No, but I think eventually, if we're going to phase them out, you might as well just do it all at once. Be like, no more kickoffs, no more field goals, no more nothing.
Field goals are a thing. They're a thing for people.
Or, I think we might have brought this up before, have players who scored the touchdown kick the field goal.
That would be unathletic and funny for sure. One idea that I've seen floated is why not just keep it at the 2 and move the goalpost back, and then you can still go for 2.
You got to change the arenas and everything.
Well, that's the thing. There's no room in stadiums.
No
room. The seats are already
Let's play a little Guess That Tweet.
Let's play Guess That Tweet.
Okay, Jeremy. Here it is. This is a really good one.
I have not cheated this time.
You're playing by yourself, so the likelihood of you winning.
You want to play this?
All right, this is very generic, but it has a story attached to it. This is the tweet. I officially love the new Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniforms.
Oh, that's a person in the minority there.
Is it A, Warren Sapp, B, Tony Dungy, C, Nick Carter, or D, one of our favorites, Chad Ochocinco?
That's a gimme. Not Ochocinco. Nick Carter. You pulled that out of thin air.
Well, they're all they're all from Florida. So this.
I know Nick Carter is from Florida. Tony Dungy, I don't think he's too smart. He doesn't like them. They're not attractive. They look like an alarm clock.
Well, we're gonna get to that after. We'll talk about it.
Okay. I'll say Warren Sapp. He's a Bucs owner. Warren Sapp.
Jeremy, you are incorrect. Your first gut choice, Nick Carter, was the guy who tweeted it.
That was a curveball. I know.
I had to because
where else would you have found his name?
So the Bucs jerseys came out. I don't know if the whole league's going to go in this direction, but what they did to those jerseys is terrible. It is not good at all.
Well, it's Nike. Nike's coming out with these uniforms. The Dolphins got a new logo, new uniforms last year, and they're a little trendier than they were. The digits are a little different, but they're not as gruesome.
But is this – now, I didn't read the entire story. I looked at all the pictures, looked at everything. This is not going to be like their third jersey or how the Steelers have the stripes like this. This is like their home and away jerseys.
This is full-time.
Because it honestly does look like an arena football league or like an XFL team. It looks like
a joke. I will say the initial jerseys, they were white shirt, red digits, looked terrible. I saw some home jerseys where they wear like a brown jersey, red numbers or white numbers, and look better.
I don't know. I mean, they're trying to pull in all the colors from the team, like the little orange stripe here, and it's just not Not good. The creamsicle
It's
cover.
not good. And the consensus is it's not good. We know a lot of Bucks fans, and they're hiding right now like they normally do.
Nothing good for them. All right, let's get into one for the Honeys.
Mike, I hope you didn't see the story because it's a good one.
I probably didn't.
This guy named Adam Muma was invited to the NFL Combine, and he actually left a day early, the former San Diego State running back. He left because God told him if he did, he would be drafted by the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the story got even weirder from there. He left the Combine and disappeared for a few days. No one knew where he was. It turns out, Mike, he was at the airport for 3 days because God told him to wait at the airport indefinitely. Just indefinitely, and you'll be drafted by the Seattle Seahawks.
So, basically, he's crazy, or?
Yeah, he's pretty crazy.
Where?
So, his teammate from San Diego State said Muma was still wearing his NFL Combine gear when he picked him up from the airport 3 days later. This was on Thursday. He left the Combine on Monday.
What?
He said the running back seemed focused, cheerful, and wise. He said if he was at the airport for 3 days straight, he was telling me when I picked him up that God told him to stay at the airport and don't do anything. Just stay there. And that's what he did for 3 days
Jeremy,
straight.
this is insane. I don't even know what the...
Insane's a good word. He's not going to be drafted by the Seahawks.
I hope no
That's
team
for sure.
drafts him. This is another thing. It's like, when you're not mentally stable, why would a team want to give you millions of dollars to then be even more unmentally stable, having like all this money going around, like, oh, all this, yeah.
It's not a good situation. And let's be careful here. Mental illness is a huge problem in the United States. It's underfunded, undercovered, and it's a problem. And it's a problem for Adam Muma, clearly. Religion is one thing. Staying at an airport for 3 days in the same clothes because God told you to is a little different. It's like the pastor who got bit by the snake, and he said, God will save me if he wants to save me. God sent paramedics to his house, and he said, no thanks. God's going to save me. No. The God saved you with the paramedics, and you died. So good job, buddy.
Jeremy, wow, really ending the show on a really sad note here.
Listen, this is a thing about mental illness. People need help all over the place. Adam Muma clearly won this.
Okay, well, if you want to donate to our show,
trying to bring down the mood.
If you want to donate to our show, go to patreon.com/The Sports Hangover. We're trying to build it up bigger and better. We're trying, Jeremy. We're going to definitely. We're going to the ESPYs this year. I'm going to the ESPYs. That is one of my goals this year. I'm going to the ESPYs. Number 2, we will be at the Super Bowl next year. Those are our 2 things for this year.
Is it going to be in Arizona, or are they moving it out of Arizona?
As of right now, I think it's still in Arizona. They might move it, but Arizona, it has to stay in Arizona because it's close. We can drive there, or I can drive there.
I can't drive there.
Check us out at TSH Podcast on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We are everywhere. Jeremy tweets all the time. And don't forget to subscribe to our show. If we don't get molested or arrested or abused, we'll be back next time.
See ya.